Tifu by telling a lady asking me for money that I didn't speak English in perfect English. So it was late at night and I had to make a stop at the gas station to fill up my car. This lady comes up to me wearing this really baggy hoodie. Judging by appearances, she seems to be a substance abuser. She says she's pregnant and needs some cash to pay for her motel room. I really wasn't buying it. She didn't look pregnant at all and looked like she had a pillow or something under her sweater. I was really tired and didn't want to deal with her, so my tired brain decided that rather than just saying no, the best thing to do would be to pretend that I was a foreigner and couldn't speak English. So I replied to her saying, "Sorry, I don't speak English." She gave me a bewildered look and said, "Oh, okay." But then she realized, "Hey, but you just said that in perfect English." Realizing I had made a dumb mistake, I started to panic and said, "Yeah, but that's all the English I know." She lost her cheesecake at this point and started yelling at me for lying and making fun of her. I ended up quickly paying in the pump and quickly drove off with my head down. TLDR, try to pretend I didn't know English to get out of an awkward situation. Next time tell them a joke in Spanish and laugh hysterically until they leave. No hablingles. I'm sorry, my dear lady, but I'm afraid that my knowledge of the vocabulary of the English language is, at best, subpar, and I am completely unable to communicate verbally in this language. Good day to you. My German friends think it's very amusing that I can say the local equivalent of "I'm terribly sorry," but I don't speak a word of German in a perfect Berlin accent. That's pretty much the only German I know. Es tut mir leid, aber ich spreche kein Deutsch. Ich bin ein amerikanischer Dummkopf. Can somebody help me? I don't know how to comment. Sorry, I don't speak English. Next time try sorry, not say English. You, not talk in a weird accent, should be enough. Tifu by shaving my legs. So I was in the shower shaving my legs. I was going quickly and carelessly, when I felt a sharp pain in my foot and noticed I had cut myself. Thinking it was nothing, I shouted for my sister to get a band-aid. I was wrong. So wrong. The blood started gushing by the bucket load, and it wouldn't stop. The shower looked like a crime scene. My sister came in with the band-aid, took one look and rushed to get a medical kit. Luckily, she has first aid training and knew what to do. There was so much blood. It spilled onto the floor when she asked me to come out and sit on the toilet lid so she could treat it, and I was naked too. Even though we're both girls, I still felt a bit uncomfortable. She ended up spending half an hour just getting the blood to stop. The whole time I was trying not to panic. I'm prone to panic attacks, and this was freaking the cheesecake out. Especially since the room now looked like someone had been murdered. Eventually, the blood did stop, so she bandaged up my foot and we started to clean up the room. But of course that's when my dad wanted his shower. We told him not to go in because blood, but he insisted he could clean up during his shower. He must have underestimated the sheer volume of blood though, because he had a mini heart attack when he saw that room. He did keep his word and cleaned up, but he was stunned. I later cleaned my razor and found a massive chunk of skin lodged in there. No wonder there was so much blood. To add insult to injury, I hadn't shaved my other leg yet. TL, doctor, I shaved my legs and cut myself. Needed half an hour to get the bleeding to stop. Dad wanted a shower before we could clean up. Hey, I did this. Except I was 4, and I cut a massive chunk out of my leg with my mom's razor. I wanted to shave like a grown-up. Edit, I'm a guy, thanks for the inbox messages too. Ouch, I remember sliding my mom's razor across my finger too when I was a kid. It hurt. My wife's friend shaved her butternut off in the shower once. Yup, clean off. I guess she had hairy zucchini. I have a small mole/skin tag in my armpit that kinda resembles a tiny butternut. For some reason it doesn't shave off, but I've always wondered what would happen if it did. Edit, because it's definitely not actually a third coconut. This comment just made me think of it because it protrudes a bit and I shave over it regularly. My wife has done this a couple of times. Something about hot shower water that just makes the blood gush like crazy. Hot temperatures make your capillaries relax/expand, which speeds up blood flow. The opposite happens in cold weather, to help preserve body heat, which is why you get so flushed after coming in from being out in the snow. Not sure past that unfortunately, other than razor cuts are up there with paper cuts on destruction level. Last year I was shaving after working out. It was deadlift day and I happen to bump my legs a lot when I deadlift, so naturally there's a little bit of swelling. While shaving I caught a bump and before I noticed shaved a 4-inch strip of skin off my leg. Had to tie a t-shirt around it to stop the bleeding and called a friend to bring me gauze. I still have a scar from it. Deleted. The first time I shaved my legs I was 13. I had shaved off a lot of skin. It hurt but I didn't really care. I was so proud of myself that I showed my mom when she got home. She was horrified by the way my legs looked. Tifu by accidentally having coconut with my cousin at a family wedding. So I originally posted this to r/confession a couple nights ago, and thought he might also appreciate the story. Obligatory, this cheesecake up did not happen today, but nearer to 2 years ago. As a disclaimer, this is my first Reddit post and on mobile, so apologize for formatting yada yada yada. So this happened about 18 months ago, or somewhere in the vicinity of 18 to 20 months. I still get flack from this from both family and friends. So, the setting, my uncle's wedding. It's around autumn and my uncle by my mother's side, from an exceptionally large family, this is relevant, is getting married for the second time. Now my family is very large. My mother has 3 brothers and 5 sisters, all with children of their own, and some even with children of their own now. Wedding isn't what I would describe as large, pretty much encompassing just family and close friends. All in all, there can't have been more than 50 or 60 people there, and around 60%, at a rough estimate, or so are related by blood to me. They make up the majority is what I'm trying to say, and many are spread over whom I have only briefly met, or in some cases, never met. Well, you can see where this is going. For reference, I would be around mid-17 in this story, with the age of consent in my country, UK, being 16. The girl, who we shall call Isla, was 22 or 23. Well, at the reception, I am having a good time with my sister, parents and cousins, dancing, heavily indulging in drinking etc. Just generally enjoying myself as it is rare for large family gatherings for us for obvious reasons. A girl I don't recognize begins to dance with me on the, very crowded, dance floor. She's older than me clearly, but I thought maybe 19 or 20. Anyway, we start dancing, touching etc. It works on me a little, I grind a bit and I presume nobody noticed due to accumulated intoxication and crowdedness around where we were. One thing leads to another, we start kissing and she asks me if I want to go upstairs, which I correctly take to mean her room in the hotel. It was a hotel wedding. I, of course, being a hormonal teenage boy, still am, jump at the opportunity and say yes. I should say this wasn't my first time or anything, and by this point I carried condoms around in my wallet when I went out and knew I would be drinking. So we proceed to discreetly, or so I think, take our leave. Both drunk, obviously, but not to the point of not being in control of our actions, or stumbling around / blackout etc. Get to her room, a bit of excited talk, and clothes come off. All is going well. Now, I should say that all this time I'm assuming this girl is a relative, or perhaps friend, of the bride. Oh boy. I was in for a shock, because, as it turns out, she thought the same of me. We were cleaning up, so to speak. We begin a little small talk when before had mostly just been purely sexual. She eventually asks how I know the bride, let us call her Emma. I stop, thunderstruck. The realization slowly creeping up on me and oh, the horror. I laugh it off, hoping, in vain, she is joking and state I am the son of, insert mother's name. Shock is palpable on who I then realized as my cousin's face as she was putting her bra back on. She sort of freaks out and says she's the estranged daughter of one of my uncles who's had a troubled life, whom she had very recently reconnected with. I did not know this. We essentially collectively let out a fuck. From there we got dressed quickly and decided to never reveal this major butternut up to a soul and hope to God we had not been noticed. Alas, we decided it would be best if she were to leave first, and that I would follow around 5 to 10 minutes later. Well, I do. She leaves first, and I just kind of stand around in the hallway on my phone freaking out for a short while until I decide enough time has passed to erode suspicion. Well, first thing I see when I get down is the look of pure disappointment on my mother's face, the stupid cheesecake grin on my father's and half my cousin's faces, and my sister looking in disgust, as though she was watching a particularly repulsive sea slug. One of my cousins whom I am close to pats me on the back, shaking his head and laughing his absolute head off. I know I am defeated then and quietly take a seat, expecting the utter bollocking I will later receive from my family. My elderly 90-year-old grandmother was there for cheesecake's sake, and word was not quiet. I didn't see Isla or her father again at reception, and later found out she told him and he took her home, not to the hotel she had booked, by way of taxi. So yeah, I accidentally took part in, protected, thank God, cheesecake. It is brought up at every, and I mean every, family gathering. A couple of my cousins have taken to playing Sweet Home Alabama and asking when the next date is whenever I enter the room. After, soberly, explaining to my parents it was an accident and I fully believed she was not a relative, like they should have questioned it, they were okay-ish with it, but still disappointed and annoyed a little. My father asked me how I'd failed to notice Isla, apparently, sat literally the row behind us, and I had no answer. Got to work on my observation skills, I guess. Not only do my family still tease me, but my friends found out from my sister within days, and I've been relentlessly teased by them at most social gatherings since. You can imagine how many cousin/coconut/Alabama jokes daily. I'm ashamed to this day. Even more so because she is an objectively attractive woman. As one might imagine, the limited interactions we've had since have been extremely strained and awkward, not helped by my banana cousins. There is another big family wedding coming up this summer, and since the announcement, the incident as it's come to be known as has been all that's been discussed within my hearing. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that roller coaster. If you have any questions, feel free, and once again, do forgive the surely egregious formatting, as I am just popping my Reddit virginity with this story, which I've been encouraged to, anonymously, post online by friends so as to make you all laugh as much as them. Dr. I had zucchini with my uncle's estranged daughter at a family wedding, my first time meeting her. Everybody in the large family knew then, and now, and will never let me live this down. Edit. Thank you all very much for the outpouring of engagement with this post. I will try get through the comments over the duration of the day. Also thank you for my first silver and gold kind stranger. Glad I could give you a chuckle. We decided to never reveal this major banana up to a soul. She immediately tells her dad. The banana, Isla. A banana, I can't believe you've done this. In my experience, family gatherings/family reunions are a great place to meet people. Meet them, butternut inside Uncle Bill's long-lost daughter? I'll pass on that, thanks. Now banana, your uncle got to show that dominance. Consider dominance asserted. Only way you will get the teasing to stop is to assert dominance. Next time relatives start teasing, say that you'll zucchini them next. Also you can say you wish to keep the bloodline pure. Cheesecake filthy mudbloods SMH. Points finger gun, keep it up and you're next, gram. Didn't you see her sitting behind you during the wedding? Yeah. Most people don't have eyes in the back of their heads. Oh well, it happened, it won't happen again, and nothing really terrible came of it. If anything, she should have seen him sitting in the row in front of her.